Hey guys, this is Anastasia, and this video is another YouTube Pagan Challenge. I have about a week to try to get caught up and completed with the YouTube Pagan Challenge. Don't know that I'm going to make that deadline, but I'm going to try. This video is, what are your thoughts on the afterlife, the hereafter, reincarnation, basically thoughts on death. And I'm going to try to keep this quick because for those of you that may be empathic or sensitive in any way, shape, or form about emotions, it could get raw, and I'm going to try not to. Death is my greatest fear. I will just say it as that, just because I don't necessarily know what I believe. So I'm going to kind of go through what I hope or what I want, and also then kind of go through what I think is probably the truth. And yeah, I think that's probably the best way to approach it. I hope that there is an afterlife. I have heard a lot of different theories, and I kind of like the idea that when our body dies, our energy or our soul or what have you kind of continues on, and it goes to whatever place it is that we've been programmed in our life experience to believe in. So like if in our life experience, sorry, I have a piece of hair that's unruly, if in our life experience we believed in, if we were a Christian and we believe in heaven, that's where we would perceive our spirit to go. If we were pagan and believed in Summerland, that's where we would believe our spirit to go. So we go to where kind of our minds are programmed, for lack of a better phrase, during our life experience. And then while we're there, kind of our programming, again, lack of a better phrase, kind of falls away. We kind of lose the trappings of this life experience and what we were taught and what we believed, and we just kind of identify that energy is energy, and we just have moved on to the plane beyond the veil, and it's kind of the same for everyone. But our preconceived notions of what heaven is, of what Summerland is, of what if you believe in Helheim or Valhalla or what have you, all of that kind of fades away, and we're just in this other world. And in this other world, we can kind of choose to come back and be reincarnated. I do want to believe in reincarnation. I've heard amazing stories about people that have had past life experiences. I really have always kind of been jealous of that. And yeah, I want there to be more. I want there to be a place where we can connect to our ancestors, because ancestors are such a huge thing for me. When I die, the idea of not being together again with my daughter terrifies me. I take some amount of comfort in the idea that we're all energy, and energy can never be destroyed. And I get that. I can wrap my head around that. Makes sense. However, with that said, energy can be non-conscious. I don't want to be, I want to have a conscious afterlife. I want it to be something that I am acknowledging and seeing and experiencing. What I think the reality is, and this is something that is very hard for me to admit, is I believe that there isn't anything after this. I think we die, and yes, we have some amounts of energy that live on. but they carry on in our mother, in earth. We are reincarnated in the plants around us, in the trees, in the grass, in the other animals that kind of take nourishment from our bodies as they decompose. That is how we live on. And while there's some amount of comfort that, I'm going to be giving life or nourishment for others in some way, shape, or form, I am terrified of the day that I go to sleep and it's just darkness. And what's worse, it is a darkness that I don't even realize is darkness. Told y'all it would get rough. This video is insanely difficult for me to make. But needed to get done. But yeah, I would love there to be an afterlife where I read someone that had written that hell, when she took over Helheim, painted the caverns to look like the night sky in autumn, and she planted all these apple orchards to feed the dead, and they described it as, like a family reunion, basically, with your ancestors, just under the night sky in autumn. And I would love for that to be true. And I understand that's really not how most people see Helheim. There's a lot of different areas and different layers, but the happy, warm and fuzzy ending isn't really a widely accepted one. But I really liked that, and I really resonated with that, and that definitely strikes me as something that hell would do. But as far as if that is what waits beyond, the logic in my brain says no. That it's just black. We're here one day and we're gone the next. And that is why I'm terrified. And I'm so glad I'm doing this video before I have to go into work. Anyway, yeah, so those are my thoughts. Like I said, there's so many more things I could go into. The idea of the Christian version of hell, but ideas of lands of punishment after death. I have thoughts on that. The idea of ancestors and how that kind of plays into the afterlife and things. There's so many different ideas I have and thoughts and theories and all of this stuff. Death, I work with hell is a major death deity, and then Cernunnos also has his death aspect. So, I mean, death is forever on my mind, and that's just how it is. Sorry. But, in the interest of brevity and calming down, I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope that there is an afterlife that is filled with our ancestors and joy and happiness. But I think the reality is there's just darkness. And then the plus side is we do return to our mother, Earth, and we are able to give her sustenance after she gave us a life of it. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, guys, for watching, and blessed be as always. Bye.